Good morning, everyone. This is Mitch. Hope you guys are having a great start to your day. I got you a Wednesday morning forecast on what is going on specifically just for today. So that's what we're going to talk about. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep on doing these morning videos until things really pick up and we have something to latch on to, which I think we will by the weekend. And I think we got some active times as far as just active systems and just more of an aggressive pattern and more severe weather chances coming up in the future. And I'll briefly mention that at the very end of the video. If you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. If it's unspoken, just put that. It gives us all an opportunity to pray for one another here. So let's get rolling here. Like as usual, I'm not going to hold you up, guys. Hold you up long this morning so everybody can get on with their day here. But as far as high temperatures for the central and eastern U.S., it's going to be a beautiful day. You got temperatures that may be reaching all the way into the 80s in portions of Kansas, 70s into Nebraska, 70s widespread in the whole entire southern U.S. You got warm temperatures that are finally starting to push up that boundary in the Ohio Valley. So southern sections of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio pushing the 60s, maybe some 70s. Kentucky, 60s and 70s today. The Carolinas are looking beautiful. Georgia, Florida is always looking nice this time of the year. But you're still locked into some cold air in the Northeast. And then the upper Midwest is still very cold as you still have that northern stream boundary setting up, keeping y'all pretty chilly generally. We switch over to the west coast here. Very warm in the valleys, above average temperatures in general. Still, like I said, the central part of the country is very warm, but North Dakota is very cold. But if you get down to South Dakota, one part of the state is freezing for highs today, and then the southwest part of the state is in the 60s, pushing 70 degrees depending on location. But in general, it is a beautiful weather, but the pattern will change for this area coming up the next few days. So definitely enjoy it. I really think there is going to be a lot of rain today. The atmospheric river is going to really pump out again today, where certain areas, especially further south into Oregon, I'm talking Salem, Eugene, Portland, could get maybe, half an inch to an inch of rain today. As far as hazards, what's going on? You got winter weather advisories up here, dense fog advisories. Nothing too crazy. I think we're going to have some winter weather advisories up a little bit later in the coming hours for areas of probably the Northeast, maybe as far east and south as Boston. Could maybe get a half an inch to an inch of snow. I know the event that occurred about 24 hours ago actually overachieved for areas a little bit further southeast, so we'll have to see how that works. But as far as this atmospheric river we're talking about, we'll start this off this morning and roll through all the way tomorrow morning. And check it out. Low pressure is just spinning this rain into the Pacific Northwest. This is going to impact more areas of Oregon as opposed to Monday, where it hit areas more so in Washington. You guys are going to experience a lot of rain. It's going to continue to pump out through the afternoon and evening hours, and maybe the really high elevations, as the snow levels are pretty high, could experience some substantial snowfall. But even several thousand feet up might just be all rain, as this in general, you have a ridge of high pressure over the west that's really pumping out above average temperatures. As far as rain, I mean, you guys here in the orange, I mean, that's over an inch to an inch and a half of rainfall over the next, sorry guys, got a sneeze trying to come up here. Okay, it went away. So, but here in the oranges, this yellowish shaded colors, you have half inch to maybe an inch and a half of rain over the next 24 hours through tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. So a lot of rain is going to fall in a pretty short amount of time. But, it's the Pacific Northwest. You guys are accustomed to this, but it's still going to be a lot of rain. There's going to be a lot of snowpack melt too in the higher elevations. But talking about the snow potential for the Northeast and in the basically later this afternoon and evening, as we're rolling through here, we're getting into 3, 4, 5 p.m. Snow starts to break loose into the U.S.-Canadian border here. Maybe a little bit of snow for Buffalo. But really, most of the Northeast is cold enough for this to be snow, especially in the interior Northeast. And this could be some heavier snow this evening. Just expect in the interior Northeast, especially later this evening, the more southeast you get, just some snowy conditions. Even the northern counties of Pennsylvania could see some snow. Erie, Pennsylvania, see some snow. Buffalo, a snowy late evening for sure. And this will continue to work its way southeast. Normally, the radar is much more filled in than what the HRRR model tends to show overall. That seems to be the case. But this is going to be a fast-moving northern stream piece of energy, a pretty aggressive clipper, if you will. But if you notice, it's warm enough to where this is all rain, even as far north as West Virginia and even the higher elevations, it's all rain. So, but up here, there's enough cold air in place to where, by the time you get to the overnight hours, you might have some rain switching to some snow. It kind of depends on the track of this little clipper, this low pressure here, but this will be some nice interior snow for sure. Definitely Western Mass will definitely see some snow. New Hampshire and Vermont, the entire state, maybe a few inches of snow in the interior areas. In New York State, everybody could see snow. But New York City, Boston, New York City, Baltimore, Philadelphia, this will likely be all rain. We'll have to see how this rolls here. But this moves on off, and by the time you're waking up tomorrow morning, for the most part, besides some flurries, this will be cleared out. As far as snowfall between now and tomorrow morning, certain areas could see a few inches of snow. It's definitely possible. Maybe a half inch of snow, maybe an inch of snow at absolute most for Boston. But you notice New York City, nothing showing up. This is really just a quick moving interior northeast kind of event. So we'll have to see if this overachieves. The event that happened Monday evening kind of overachieved for certain areas. So we'll have to see if this does also. But we'll see how it goes. Storm Prediction Center, let's talk about this really briefly, not too long. You have that 15% risk of storms occurring in this area. I'm watching to see if this trends a little more south. As I was looking at model guidance for overnight, it looks like the track of the low pressure wants to move a little bit further south. That would probably hinge this area of this 15% risk, which is for Saturday morning through Sunday morning, a little further south, maybe southeast. But we'll watch to see how that goes. But what's the newest information is this day 5, which is Sunday morning into Monday morning time frame. This 15% risk introduced for Arkansas. I tell you what, Arkansas has had some pretty active weather over the last really 2 months between the severe weather outbreak that happened back in December, the multiple winter storms, the multiple severe weather threats that occurred. Arkansas has really been under the gun as of late. But a 15% risk of severe weather occurring in this 15% risk area, this yellow area. This could move a little bit. There could be another area introduced at day 6, but this is just in general. You notice at day 4 and then to day 5 it shifts south, and that's because in general that boundary shifts south, so that storm track does. So these shortwave troughs are ejecting itself across the middle of the country, and then it will gradually start to take a more southerly route as that cold front in general continues to sag south and that more stable air mass continues to take over more of the U.S. But that still puts areas of the southern U.S., the deep south in general, into a moist air mass. You're going to have convect Cape reaching, maybe pushing 1,000 joules per kilogram in this range. So you just kind of have to watch this area for sure here in the coming days, because obviously you're going to have better thermos, which is those surface temperatures and surface moistures, a little bit further south, because in general it's more south and you normally have warmer temperatures and more moist air. But that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll have you an update on the severe weather this evening and talk about the trends and everything and what we can discuss. Because I do think we're going to enter a much active pattern. God bless everybody. Have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all this evening.